Hello, my name is Abiana Banks, and today I'm going to be talking about my shed project for my engineering and architecture 2 class. In this slide, I talk about some of Joliet's shed codes. The maximum height for a shed in Joliet is 15 feet. The shed must be at least 6 feet away from the house, unless the shed is attached to the house, and it must be 3 feet away from the property line, and it cannot be in your front yard. These are my front and back walls of the shed. I made these walls in AutoCAD. I drew them in AutoCAD with an image that Mr. West gave us of different of the measurements and stuff, and you can see the measurements in my drawing as well. These are some labels for my for it. This is the top plate. These all of these vertical pieces of wood, those are studs. And then the bottom plate, that's a sole plate. There's headers above the window and door. And this piece of wood that goes horizontally along the bottom of the window is called a window sill. These are my side walls, which are just top plate, sole plate, and studs. These are my trusses, which I also did um, draw in AutoCAD, in the AutoCAD software. These top pieces that connect at an angle in right here, that's called the top chord, and this right here is the bottom chord. These go on top of the shed. They're the very last thing that I attached to my shed. And these in the middle are called webs. For actually putting this thing together, there was something called the pinning process, and we had to get a piece of cardboard. Okay, hold on. Rewind. First, first step was to print out our drawings, and the drawings that I am talking about are the drawings that I'm referring to on the last few slides that I just showed you. We print out all of those, and we had to tape them down to a piece of cardboard that was a little bit bigger than 11 by 17, and then tape a piece of parchment paper on top of that, and use the geometry from the paper to transfer to the balsa wood that we got, which is supposed to be imitating our 2x4s that we would use to build the shed. And you trace the you trace the geometry of the wood, trace the geometry of the wood onto the paper. I mean, onto the paper, from the paper onto the wood, so that you can cut it and make it into the shape you need it to be. And after you cut out all the wood to the shape that it needs to be and to the desired measurements, you need to pin them down into the cardboard so that they can stay in place while you after you pin them all into place, you have to glue them together in the connecting areas where the wood connects. You let that dry, and then you repeat that process for the front and back walls, the side walls, and all 6 trusses. That's why you do the trusses twice, as it says on the slides right here. This is an image of the pinning process. Um, you see, I'm doing it like a crisscross pattern to create a downward pressure on the wood to make sure everything stays flat, and so that when I glue it together, it's not like everything's flush with each other. This is a finished image of what my side walls looked like after everything was dried and glued together. What did I enjoy the most about this project was most definitely the hands-on parts of it, where I was cutting the pieces down to the right size and then putting them together to make the final project. I liked the hands-on approach to this project. What would I do differently? I would say that I fell behind on, time management and making sure that I took progressive pictures and was able to transfer those pictures to my computer properly. I do definitely need to find a more reliable way to transfer my videos and pictures from my phone to my computer. And my advice for any future students: try your best and communicate to problem to communicate. Try your best and communicate to find problems. To I'm sorry. Try your hardest and communicate problems to find solutions. Have a nice day. Oh, thank you. This was my project. I hope you enjoy.